Hey everybody, welcome back to Twinkle Tunes and Lighting. Today we're going to go over an important part that often gets overlooked in our displays. I'm going to show you how to actually physically attach your props to the ground so they don't blow away. It doesn't matter how great your sequencing is, if your props can't stand up or can't withstand the weather and they constantly fall over or twist or turn or anything like that, your show is just not going to come together. So in this video, I'm going to lay out step by step how I do it, from laying your props out to positioning them correctly to evenly spacing them so that your show looks great no matter any angle. Stick around at the end for some pro tips that will save you time and frustration. Let's go. Before I drive a single U-post into the ground, I always start with a plan. Think about your display as one big stage. And then ask yourself, where will people be watching from? Which props are the stars of the show? And how can I arrange everything as to not block the view of other things? So what I like to do is I start with my smaller props in the front. Things like skulls, little skeleton heads, and that way that they're seen first. Put them around my arches here. And as I get into my bigger props, something like my tombstones here, these are about almost 3 feet tall. I like to put those kind of midway back. Put my skeleton's head a little bit taller in the back. And then as I go towards my singers, these singers are almost 4 feet tall. I like to put those in the very back towards here. And so as you look at it, my house and all my display is pretty layered. It's almost like having a choir. Put all the small kids in front, tall kids in the back, and that way everybody can be seen. When you make your layout in X-Lights, you want to go ahead and get all your props out, lay them out on the lawn, and make sure that it's actually going to fit. Sometimes I do some designs and it's pretty big in X-Lights, looks really cool on the computer, but then it doesn't fit in my yard or fit in the area that I'm looking for. So I've laid out my tombstones, my arches, I've laid out some of my bats and things on my house just to make sure that it's gonna look appropriate to the size. And that's, I think, is a big success, is making sure everything fits before you go ahead and wire everything up and find out that you've got to either add a prop or drop a pop, add a prop or drop a pop. Drop, it's where you gotta add. Anyway, you're not gonna, you gotta just make sure it fits. We're gonna make sure it fits. So one of my favorite ways to mount my props is through one of these. This is called a U-post. You can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's, anywhere in the garden center. It's metal, it's got a flat edge, and it has multiple places to where you can zip tie your props to. With it being flat, it keeps your props from moving in the wind or in the weather. And another cool thing, they're completely reusable as well. That's a big plus. I only have to buy it one time and I can use it forever. Once when you try these, it'll be hard to go back to anything else. So here I've got one of my tombstones and I want to go ahead and put that in between two of my arches. So I have my arches surrounding my tombstone and it's going to go directly in the center of these arches here. So I'm going to take a measurement and make sure I get my stake dead center in the middle, and then I'm going to attach my tombstone to my stake. We're sitting at 40 inches, so the center would be 20, which is right here. And you don't have to go in very far, because we're not permanently installing these, but we just don't want it to move or go left and right or anything like that. Super simple and easy. I've got my prop, I've got my zip ties in. Let's go ahead and attach it now. I'm gonna go ahead and attach this right on to my stake that I just put down. And take your cutters and always trim your zip ties. I've got a lot of my props laid out on the lawn here, and I'm gonna go ahead and evenly space out my arches. And that's what we're gonna focus on right now, is I like to use these garden stakes or these camping stakes. You can get these at Walmart or get these at Harbor Freight. And these are what's gonna secure my arches into the ground so they're not moving throughout the season. So let me show you how I do that real quick. Here's my base that I've 3D printed. I got a few of these going all the time, the printers, and they're always making more bases for me because I'm always adding more arches. But in these, I went ahead and made 2 holes in this base, and this is where I'm gonna go ahead and attach and install these stakes here. You don't have to install a bunch because it's not gonna fall up. But I put one on one side, one on the opposite side on the other side, and that keeps them falling over. Works pretty well. Now that I've got my arches secured to the ground, I'm gonna go ahead and make the connection. The direction that you run your props, you've got to really think about. Where is your controllers gonna be located? Are they out in the grass? Are they inside your home? Are they gonna be in a different location? That's gonna tell you what side or what end of the prop needs to point which way. Because remember, in X-Lights, you can swap of how the prop is orientated. It's whether you have the plug on one side or the plug on the other side, or if you want the prop to go forwards or backwards. My controllers are located real close to all the props out here in the grass. And so I want to make sure all my plugs are meeting in the middle because that's where my controller is. It may be different for you if all your controllers are located inside your house or maybe up near the house and you guys are running cables to them, but I'm just mindful of which way my plugs run. So I've got my controller and I'm gonna go ahead and mount it to this U-post that I drove in behind one of my tombstones so you can't see it. All my controllers are named after the 8 tiny reindeer. This one's called Vixen. And if you guys are wondering about my controllers, these are the ones that I've built in another video. They're super awesome. They got an ammeter in them. You've got the Bong 69 actual controller in them. Power injection at the top. And these are what I use for all of my lights. So, show you how simple this is gonna be. Got my controller closed up, and we're gonna hang it from this side down because my vent and all my stuff is at the bottom, so when it does rain, it's gonna come right off the top of this. Come on the back of the U-post here, and literally, that's it. Super simple. I'm gonna hang it right on the one U bracket, and I might take a zip tie around the bottom of it. I don't know, feeling cute, might zip tie it later. I can attach all my lights and all my props to the pigtails right there. Super simple, super easy. And there you have it. That's how I lay out all my props. That's how I mount them all and make sure they're nice and secure for the season. And I love using the U-post. I love using the tent stakes from Harbor Freight, nice and cheap. I hope you guys liked the video. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. And down in the comments, let me know what you guys are using to mount your props with. Do you guys use the U-post? Do you use a different method? Maybe I don't have the best method. Maybe you got the best method. Just let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.